Hello everyone. Today I'm going to briefly discuss person-centered planning, or PCP, and why it is such an important approach when supporting students with disabilities, particularly during transition planning. Person-centered planning is a collaborative process that focuses on the student's strengths, interests, preferences, and long-term goals rather than their deficits. Instead of focusing on what a student cannot do, PCP focuses on what the student can do and what they want to achieve in the future. The student's voice is central to the planning process, and decisions are made with the student rather than for the student. The purpose of person-centered planning is to empower students to actively participate in shaping their own future. When students are involved in planning their educational and life goals, research shows they develop greater self-determination, confidence, and motivation, which can lead to improved outcomes after high school, including employment, continued education, and independent living. Person-centered planning also aligns with a Christian worldview because it recognizes the inherent dignity, value, and purpose of every individual. Each student is viewed as someone created with unique strengths and potential. By focusing on collaboration, respect, and support, PCP promotes human flourishing and encourages communities to work together to help students succeed. In addition, person-centered planning supports student-driven transition planning. Under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or the IDEA, transition plans must include measurable post-secondary goals that reflect the student's interests and abilities. Through the PCP process, students are able to explore their career interests, educational goals, and independent living skills. This increases their ownership of the process and helps them become more engaged in working toward their future. There are several important steps in implementing effective person-centered planning. First, the team gathers relevant information, including academic data, behavioral information, and transition assessments. Second, the team identifies the student's strengths, preferences, and interests. Third, the group works together to develop a shared vision for the student's future. Fourth, the team creates measurable post-secondary goals and annual goals that support their vision. Fifth, the team identifies the services, supports, and action steps needed to help the student reach their goals. And then finally, the team monitors progress regularly and adjusts the plan as needed to ensure the student continues to move toward success. Person-centered planning also involves collaboration among several important participants. The student plays the most important role by sharing their goals, interests, and ideas for the future. The parents or the guardians provide valuable insight into the student's strengths, cultural background, and long-term vision. The special education teacher or case manager typically facilitates the planning process, ensures that the IEP meet the legal requirements, and monitors progress. General education teachers contribute information about academic performance and classroom expectations. School psychologists and related service providers, such as speech therapists or counselors, provide evaluation data and recommendations for support. And then finally, the administrators help ensure resources are available and that the plan aligns with school policies and legal guidelines. In conclusion, person-centered planning is a powerful approach that ensures students with disabilities are active participants in their own educational journey and future planning. By focusing on strengths, goals, and collaboration, PCP helps students build the confidence, skills, and support system they need to successfully transition into adulthood. When educators, families, and students work together through person-centered planning, we create opportunities for meaningful growth, independence, and long-term success. Thank you for listening.